Coming up on the Racing Insiders, the World Rally Championship in Sweden. Jari-Matti Latvala gets his third win, celebrates with cake. You'll see it next. Tanner Foust, VW, Andretti Autosport, Scott Speed, Global Rallycross. We mash them all together. Bathurst, drama, wheel-to-wheel, terrible crash. We look at it next. And the ZEOD RC, Nissan. We'll take an in-depth look at the crazy car with a carry-on engine. Next on the Racing Insiders. Welcome back to the Racing Insiders, presented by GoPro, the only place in broadcasting where you're going to get sports car content every week. I'm Bill Wood in Los Angeles. Jeff Lepper is in Folsom, California. Jeff, a big show. Let's get right to it. First, we go to Sweden, the World Rally Championship. A great run. The defending World Rally Champion, Sebastian Ogier, he went out the first day, and Volkswagen still has enough bench strength to take it over. A great run for Volkswagen and for the World Rally Championship.
You said it, Bill. Anybody in that Volkswagen team can step up, and his two teammates did just that. Stage 8, Sebastian Ogier runs into the snowbank. That cost him a little over 4 minutes. But Jari-Matti Latvala, he actually took the win. Andreas Michaels led after Sebastian Ogier went out. He made a mistake in the snowbank as well, that yet Latvia go ahead and pull away for the win. He won the final 4 stages in the morning on the 3rd day. Great job for Volkswagen. It just goes to show that it doesn't matter if you're lead driver, there's definitely no team orders, right, Bill?
A great run by both Latvala and Andreas Mikkelsen. He's been on my website. I like the guy. We've talked several times. Third on the podium was Mads Osberg. But the crazy thing was when Volkswagen came into the compound, the mechanics, the support crew were really happy for Latvala's third win in Sweden. And you won't believe what happened after the whole thing was over. He goes up and he celebrates. Well, just take a look.
Thank you. Fantastic. I'm so happy for you. Thanks, guys. Thank you so much. Great work you have done. Thank you.
Did you know that we have a special present for you?
No, I didn't know that.
300 stage win for you, Jari-Matti. The 300 overall for
300 stage wins. Yeah? And you know how you celebrate that in motorsport.
Thank you. It's a very special moment, you know. My first time winning the same World Rally Championship rally for the 3rd time, and that's where all my all my rally wins started. Very special moment.
Yeah, it's still a nice rally. I still love to drive here. You know that the race just for me a learning for the future that you should always be 100% concentrate, because it's so easy to do mistake. But yeah, no drama for us. We saved the weekend with 8 points. We are second in the championship, so the good news is we won't have to open the road on the next rally, and definitely we will go in Mexico for the win.
Fantastic weekend. To have finish a weekend with a 1-2 if you have 3 cars with the Polo WRC is fantastic. Especially we've seen that was last year, it was our first win, and then coming back, and it's the second rally of the season and the second win, and then 1-2 is absolutely fantastic. And especially when you see that Sebastian does a mistake, and one of his rare mistakes, and there's no chance to win anymore, fighting back fantastically. But then the other 2 are there, and then you see how the team is not built around one driver. The team is built around all 3 drivers, and they share the information, and they can drive. There is no team order. So that enables and gives them the confidence and enables them to be there. And then if there's a problem with Sebastian, then the other two are there and see they can even do a 1-2. What is, I said, never anybody would have expected. A fantastic performance, but it didn't surprise me. That's what I expected from him to show here, and that's what I discussed with him before. It was clear that the target was here to fight for the podium. And then doing it in this way without benefiting from any retirements really, and just being there right from the beginning as he won the first stage on Thursday night or Wednesday night. It was absolutely fantastic performance for him, and it's really it's very much deserved. I think they are head-to-head now, and 1-2 in the championship, and I think we can expect a very exciting championship with these two. And it will be a challenge for the team, as we don't have a team order, we don't have a number 1 and 2. They can fight it out. That will be a challenge, but I think the team is now so strong and so established, and the motivation is so good that I'm sure we can handle even this tough situation.
It's good. We get all the decorum and everything, Jeff, on a podium celebration or even a victory celebration in the garage. This wasn't the podium, but it's good to see guys. They looked genuinely happy for Jari Matti, and it's good to see guys able, including the team officials, able to celebrate like that. I mean, if you'd have thrown a cake in Sebastian Loeb's face, they'd still be fighting.
Yeah, I don't think we'd ever hear the end of that. That probably would still be on the #1 highlight reel for all of World Rally Championship to happen. But way to go for Latvia. This was his 3rd win in the Swedish rally. The 2 Norwegians, 2nd and 3rd, with Mats Otsberg in that Citroen. So a lot of the stages were run in Norway, so kind of a home rally for those 2 drivers as well. Just a great podium, great round for WRC. Can't wait for the next round.
It's a crazy story. We reported the rumor more than a month ago, but now the story was confirmed last week. Tanner Foust, 2-time global rallycross champion, is going to Volkswagen, leaving his Ford roots, going to Volkswagen with Andretti Autosport, his teammate Scott Speed, the former Formula One driver. Jeff, big story, and turns out we were right.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. You heard it here first on Racing Insiders, so we have the inside scoop, the real inside on the Racing Insiders, but can't wait for this to happen. It's going to be cool to see them racing the Polo here at the beginning of the year, and hopefully a new car, but you got some more on that, right, Bill?
Yeah, they've talked about, I was surprised when I talked to Tanner, we didn't talk about Herbie the Love Bug, but I go to the Volkswagen media page, and there they mention Herbie the Love Bug. It's a Beetle that they want to race here. They don't bring the Polo to the United States. Tanner's aware of that, and they're going to eventually have a Beetle. Let's talk to Tanner. I talked to him this past week about his change and why he left Ford to go to Volkswagen. We're going to Chicago right now to talk to Tanner Foust right after the announcement of his going to Volkswagen. Crazy story. Let's get into it. First of all, Tanner, congratulations.
Thank you very much, Bill. Appreciate it.
It's a huge step for you. I remember when I first got the rumor about a month or so ago, I had to sit down for a minute because it didn't make sense. Why leave Ford?
Yeah, well, I mean, it was really, honestly, a tough call. Ford has been such a great partner. We've done a ton of stuff, and I really like the company there. I like the cars, the race team, and Andreas and I really, got together back before Ford had been involved in X Games or any of this type of rallycross stuff, and kind of got the ball rolling. So it was a very difficult call, but this was a unique opportunity. And I think the guys at Ford and Andreas all really understand it. And with Volkswagen, we have an opportunity to take, Andretti Motorsport, which is, one of the predominant names in racing here in America, and Volkswagen, which is one of the, the second largest manufacturer in the world and a big player in racing, and put them together and start from the very ground up on a new sport in the States, on global rallycross, and be kind of involved in every facet of it. It's really a great opportunity. I'm really excited about it. The cars, however, are being built at Volkswagen Motorsport Center in Hanover, which is about 45 minutes from Wolfsburg in Germany. And so they're being built by the same hands that have built the WRC cars that have been dominating the world. So that's also a fairly confidence-inspiring thought on my side.
Including the Beetle development is going to be done in Europe, or is that going to be done at Andretti Autosport?
Well, I think they don't know exactly sure. I'm not too privy to a lot of the schedules, unfortunately, but it's the cars will be built out there, and then just as soon as we can get them over here stateside, we'll establish a testing facility with Andretti, and we'll get cracking with them Andretti to really fine tune them.
So, Jeff, it's a crazy thing. You've heard that they might bring the car, the Beetle, a little sooner than a full year with the Polo that doesn't come to the United States.
Yeah, it's supposed to be a 600 horsepower all-wheel drive Beetle. They're going to hopefully debut that at the X Games in June, so we'll have to keep an eye out for that. We'll get you the inside scoop on that, of course, because that's what we do here. But look forward to seeing that Beetle and see if he can run number 53 like the old Love Bug. That'd be cool to see.
We'll be on top of this. Like you said, Jeff, this is the Racing Insiders. Let's go to Australia, the Bathurst 12-hour, won by a Ferrari. Some major names, including Craig Lowndes, a three-time champion in V8 Supercars, who's won at the Bathurst racetrack 5 times, but this is his first win in the 12-hour. Mika Salo, he's also on the team. It's a major program, Jeff.
Yeah, John Bowe running that program from Maranello Motorsports right in Melbourne, Australia. He gets his 3rd win in the Bathurst 12-hour running that Ferrari team. Peter Edwards, another one of those co-drivers. And I'll tell you what, 20 minutes from the end, there's a caution flag. The field was spread out, the top 4 guys by 17 seconds. It looked like the Ferrari was going to win, but that allowed the HTP Motorsports Mercedes SLS AMG to close back in on that Ferrari. We had Shane Van Gisbergen in the McLaren making the debut at the Bathurst 12 hours, and Arabis Motorsports dominated this race last year with Bernd Snyder at the wheel. They did the same thing this year, had a bit of a problem. That car dropped back, but their team car was able to finish in 3rd place. It was an exciting race, a 12-minute flat-out sprint to the end with the top 4 cars, and it was that Maranello Motorsports Ferrari getting the win.
It was staggering. The 0.4 second separation at the end was the closest in the 12-hour history. They were wheel to wheel with 4 minutes to go, going turn to turn with the Mercedes and the Ferrari. It was a phenomenal race. And Jeff, I'm going to turn all the names over to you, partner. You got Van Gisbergen or whatever it was. You got that. That just rolled out on the table. You're the expert at that kind of thing.
Well, I'll tell you what, they call him the wild child in V8 Supercars, and he was doing that. When he was leading earlier, he got underneath Mika Salo in the Ferrari. He was on his outlap, had some cold tires, went 4 wheels into the dirt, and that was the 2nd time he had done that. So definitely the wild child there in that McLaren. It was great to see some other notables in that. Patrick Long finished his 2nd in his Porsche 911, came over to that team running with the iced coffee 911 GT3 Cup car in the B category, and of course the Fiat Abarth 500. It's kind of like moving pylons on that big Mount Panorama course to see those cars out there, but they ended up winning the F class. So it was a great variety of cars. Over 40 cars taking the green flag. This was the 10th race in the Bathurst 12-hour in this format, and just look for better things to come next year. See if I can maybe hop into one of those Fiats, or hey, why not a McLaren?
Moving chicanes, I love it, Jeff. It was a wild race, and it was down 0.4 seconds after 12 hours. That's enormous. That's 5-6 car lengths. That's nothing after a 12-hour race. Coming up next, the ZEOD RC, getting ready for Le Mans. We've got some pictures of the car, the development of the car, and we talked to the driver, announced last week, right after this.
This segment of the Racing Insiders was brought to you by GoRacingTV.com, for racers by racers. Want to keep up with all the racing action at the track? Well, download the new Go Racing TV iPhone and Android app. And remember to like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter.
Welcome back to the Racing Insiders. I'm Bill Wood in Los Angeles. I'm joined by Jeff Lepper in Folsom, California. Jeff, big story, the ZEOD. I love this program from Nissan, zero emissions on-demand vehicle that they're preparing for the Garage 56 at Le Mans. It's an experimental car. and it's being driven, they announced this past week, by Lucas Ordóñez, the first GT Academy winner. It's a big story. I love this story. It's a big story.
Yeah, it's huge to see. I mean, it's great to see Lucas doing that. He did a couple World Challenge races last year in a Nissan 370Z. Got a good chance to talk to him. All you kids out there that say your parents tell you you're spending too much time on video games, look at Lucas Ordóñez. He won that GT3 Academy through the PlayStation 3 game on Gran Turismo, two-time Le Mans podium winner, and now named the driver of the Nissan ZEOD.
Yeah, Nissan just sent him to India to officially announce the GT Academy program in India. Let's hear from Lucas Ordóñez.
I'm really excited and looking forward to drive the ZEOD RC in Le Mans. Such a unique project, and you know, going to drive electric power in such track like Le Mans 24 hours is something unique. I think it's going to be the beginning of something which is going to be the future for racing and for road cars. The development process of the ZEOD RC is very complicated. To see how they work, the professionalism, incredible people who has very clever ideas. So to watch the process and how the car is being developed in only 1 year is something incredible and worth to watch. To drive in full electric power down in Mulsanne Strait, you know, in the forest of Le Mans 24 track is gonna be something really special.
This is the power plant. It's not fully electric. The idea is to use electric power to get around the track once or twice while everybody else is pitting, to give the ZEOD prototype a little extra advantage. But this engine is so small. I mean, it's almost carry-on size, Jeff.
Yeah, it sure is. The pictures of Nissan president sitting there holding that motor. I mean, I think you could pack it in your suitcase and each crew member can bring a spare motor if they need to. 400 horsepower, that little tiny 1.4 liter motor. It's amazing to see that. Let's hear what Darren Cox has to say about this power plant.
Up to this point, we focused very much on the fact that ZEOD will do the first ever fully electric lap of Le Mans. But of course, the other 11 or 12 laps of the stint, the car will be powered by petrol. It will be powered by this petrol engine, 400 horsepower out of only 40 kilos. And imagine, you're going on holiday, the luggage restriction for the onboard baggage, this thing would fit in the restriction. Amazing in terms of its downsizing. It's only 3 cylinders, it's only 40 kilos, but it's got 400 horsepower.
Ben Bowlby, the designer of the car, told me that it's a 3-cylinder, and when we talked a little while ago, he said that it's an engine that they sold in Europe and they're going to make it work here. I keep going back to this. When he put the first plans into the computer just laughed and said, "Are you kidding me?" But evidently they're going to make it work. It's just a phenomenal program, Jeff.
Yeah, it's going to be great to see that Garage 56 occupied by Nissan. Hopefully this will pave the way for a lot more car manufacturers to either come into racing, motorsports, and then we'll see that technology transform into our road cars. Nothing but great things coming from Nissan, and can't wait for Le Mans this year in June.
Yeah, Darren Cox has said that some of this technology is going to end up in the P1 program that Nissan wants to bring to the World Endurance Championship.
Are you kidding me?
Are you kidding me? You've told us over and over again that this is your favorite part of the show. Jeff, what's on your mind?
Well, I'm going to look at my series, the Pirelli World Challenge. I got to go with, at the Bathurst 12-hour, McLaren GT project manager Andrew Kirkcaldy announced that he had sold 2 of the McLaren MP4 12Cs to a very strong Pirelli World Challenge team in the GT3 spec, so now we're going to have McLaren. It got announced earlier last week that there's going to be a 2-car Lamborghini team. Thomas Ing leading the group on that from Ryder Engineering. Pirelli World Challenge, I think, is going to be the place to be, it looks like, and especially in the GT category, seeing these GT3 spec cars come out. I cannot wait. Literally, I think we're 48 days or 47 days away till the season opener at St. Petersburg, Florida, and I'm chewing my fingernails. I got nothing left waiting for this to happen.
It's going to be a great championship. It was great. It went through some down years, and now it's coming back. It's good that World Challenge has that strength, and it's one of the only series in the world that's making money. My Are You Kidding Me is with Nissan, the ZEOD RC project. I've talked to Ben Bowlby about it over and over again. He's with me, or I'm with him, more likely, that its technology needs to be in road cars. It was lost. The Delta Wing was so different that it's lost on people the efficiencies of lightweight. And here they come with an engine that is like 80 kilograms or something, 80 pounds, 400 horsepower, 3-cylinder, and able to supply batteries so that they can have some zero emissions on demand, electric power when they need it. Are you kidding me? I think this is something that needs to be in our driveways to replace the small block Chevys and Fords with something. Can you imagine replacing a big block Chevy or a small block Chevy with a 3-cylinder, 400 horsepower engine? We need that in our driveways right away. Thank you, Nissan. Next week on the Racing Insiders, presented by GoPro, updates on the coming changes in the Pirelli World Challenge. And you won't believe who's going to be in the V8 Supercars in Australia next year. That's next week on the Racing Insiders, presented by GoPro. Jeff, what do you have in mind for next week?
Man, I don't know. I guess I should have done my Are You Kidding Me on... I don't have anything to do. There's no races going on. There's no nothing. I'm going to see if I can find a race somewhere that I can either go to or watch on TV or do anything. It's kind of one of those rare off weekends, and maybe I'll just sit around and watch TV, I guess. I don't know what else to do.
I got a feeling there's a wife and a Mustang who could probably take up all of that spare time of yours. I'm going to be doing the exact same thing. I've got a ton of personal stuff that has to be done. You won't believe my schedule, the calendar. It's just out of control. I'll enjoy a light week in racing so that I could take care of Bill Wood's life. It's crazy. For Jeff Lepper in Fulton, California, I'm Bill Wood in Los Angeles. This is the Racing Insiders presented by GoPro. Want to see you next week here on the Racing Insiders. Until then, take care of each other, respect each other. Have a great week. Peace.